hear any more small talk. Off that short pier, take a long walk. My style ain't free cause it ain't off top. I'm at your throat, go get a cough drop. I don't wanna hear any more small talk. Off that short pier, take a long walk. My style ain't free cause it ain't off top. I'm at your throat, go get a cough drop. It's kush. I love me too much and your brain turn to mush. Fall flat on your tush. You couldn't handle the product I push. I guess I'm just used to it. I just do it like Nike swoosh. None of that Reggie Bush cause I'm top shelf. I ain't got...
What's that? Playoffs? Don't talk about it. Playoffs? You kidding me? Playoffs? I just hope we can win a game.
How's everybody doing this evening? We will be getting started shortly whenever Josh comes back from the upside down, apparently. In the meantime, how's everybody doing? How's everybody feeling? There we go. All right. All right, and all right, there we go. All right, there he is. Okay. All right, much better. So, yes. All right, now that the crew is all here, welcome back. Welcome back to the You Don't Know Jack podcast, otherwise known as the Colts Fan Battle, where we discuss everything Colts related and then sprinkle some slander in there. And this is a special week of slander for some overzealous fans that might have thought that they were going to get a sweep this year.
Oh, yeah, they did. They were talking mad.
Yeah, they were talking crazy. But guess what? Not anymore. They went from, oh, yeah, we're going to dominate to, oh, no, we suck again. But you know what? We're going to get to that later. We're going to talk about that later. In the meantime, we're going to talk about the guys, all right? Just quickly. Just making sure that we get the people, reacclimated, reintroduced. So without further ado, my name is Chris Jackson. How's everybody doing this evening? We also have with us the silent assassin, the man in blue that you won't know is coming to get you until he got you. Austin Cook, everybody.
What's up? I'm Austin.
Yeah. Then we have with us Mr. 777s himself, Luck Be a Lady, the guy who came up in the best way today. We have with us Josh Senior, everybody.
I think should I present it?
I mean, don't present it unless you plan to give it away on here. I don't. Okay, well, you're just gonna do it anyway.
I'm not gonna give it away.
You're just gonna get it. You're just gonna get overzealous. Don't give the people false hope, please.
Okay,
please.
I'm sorry.
All right, it's okay.
What's good, everybody?
Yeah, but yeah, how's everybody? How y'all doing this evening? How's everybody feeling?
Feeling good. Had a great
weekend.
Yeah. It's pretty good. It's, like I said, the NBA's back. Maybe Josh isn't feeling the best right now, but, it is what it is.
What are you talking about, You forgot. Have you heard?
What?
My team won yesterday.
What team is that?
Right around town, I'm a bandwagon fan, so I just went to Golden State now. my new team is Golden State.
Jesus.
Right around town. So, since I'm a bandwagon fan.
Oh, man, look at you. You're just awful. Just absolutely awful.
I switched at halftime when I noticed they were losing. I said, "Yeah, I got a new team on the way."
Yeah, that's
no.
Yeah.
we got our butt stuff. We got our butt toe up. Yes, we got our butt smacked.
Yeah. Well, before we move on to the football stuff, I find it actually pretty hilarious that they would start Pat Beverly over Russell Westbrook. I feel like at this point, every move that they make is to try to get Russell Westbrook to say, "Hey, I want out." So, and it's not working so far. So it's really not working. Like they're gonna have to pay all of that money. Like you do what you want. I'm getting paid regardless.
Yeah, $48 million for a backup. Yeah, that ain't working.
Yeah,
no.
Yeah, that's hilarious. But yeah, man. So we had a very eventful weekend, right? But before we do that, I do want to make sure that we get into some very eventful things. Like your hygiene, because of course, manscaped.com, you can go there for all your needs, whether it be for your shaving needs, whether it be for your smell needs. Of course, they have some stuff in there to make sure that everything is going pretty smoothly everywhere. And I'm going to say that's more along the lines of your scrot area. So
Yes.
once again, make sure that if you are purchasing, you're going to manscaped.com. And when you go to manscaped.com, no matter what the purchase is, you get some ball deodorant, you get a shaver, you get some stuff. Even if you want to get some clothes, you go ahead and you enter code FANBATTLE. That's all caps, no spaces. And you make sure you enter that. You get 20% off. And of course, you do get the free shipping, which, you may not be too interested in 20% off, but I know the free shipping is a good selling point. So you already know how that goes. But yeah, but just make sure that you go ahead and you do that. It's a smooth transition. Kind of like how your balls will feel after you get the shaver. All
Yeah.
right?
Don't be salty like Shaq Griffin.
Well, I mean, it was. If we're gonna talk about burnt toast, we're gonna talk about burnt toast in a second. But we had some more interesting things happening that were just like, I'm gonna say, not even on the field, because Jim Irsay must have been listening to Ether by Nas, because he came out yesterday and said some things about Dan Snyder that were just absolutely like, oh, so you're just going to go and just roast this man in the media. Okay, cool. So I mean, Austin, if you want to get us started with this, I mean, let us know what was going on with the Irsay comments and how you felt kind of seeing that randomly.
Yeah, so there was like an owners meeting. I think they do it like every year or something.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just feel like it wasn't just him, but like
Mm-hmm.
so much of his past is already out and everybody knows so much about him.
Mm-hmm.
He just was like, all right, I mean, I'll say something. I'll be the one to say something to the media, and everybody else that supports him will just be behind him, just anonymously, I guess, for now.
Yeah.
But like, there's no way that it was just him that's saying all that stuff. Like, it has to be other owners.
Yeah.
Yeah. He just so happened to be the first owner to stand out.
Yeah. Yeah, and you know what? It was funny because, he said that, and everybody knows, like, he's had his struggles with drugs. He had his issue was alcohol, but I think with him it's just like it's one of those. It's kind of like B Rabbit at the end of 8 Mile when it's just like, okay, well, I'm just gonna go ahead and say it so that you can't. And I mean, it's it's almost poetic in the fact that he owned it and he held himself accountable, but then he's just like, it's kind of like he's daring you. Like, it's just like, okay, so what are you gonna say now? Because I mean, the stuff that Dan Snyder's been accused of and the stuff that's been in the media, everything from Jay Gruden, everything to the issues that he's had with the sexual harassment of the female employees, like the things that have happened under his tenure have just been absolutely, like, it's been abomination after abomination.
Right. And like you said, it ain't looking good for him. It ain't looking good for him.
It's not. And then the other crazy thing was that I think there was somebody separate in the article, and I'm not sure whether this was true or not, but they said that Jerry Jones still backs him.
Yeah, they're good friends.
Yeah, and that's the reason why I'm just like, after the stuff came out about Jerry Jones the other day, where they said that he was, or that he sexually harassed or sexually assaulted a female employee in front of the players. Like that came out the other day. Like, they said that there was allegations against Jerry Jones. So it's just like, is Jerry kind of siding with them because, I mean, they're basically
in the same boat.
Exactly. Or is it just because, like, they're good friends? Because the other thing was they voted on Roger Goodell with a proposal in terms of compensation for Roger Goodell, and Jerry Jones said, "Don't F with me" to Robert Kraft.
Yeah, Robert Kraft was one of the owners that's with Irsay's side, to vote him out.
So I mean, I don't know what's happening, but I think it's absolutely funny when a bunch of rich old dudes decide that they're gonna go and start feuding, because if it's gonna be a bunch of rich old dudes going at it, my money's on Irsay. My money's on Irsay. He's still in pretty good condition.
It's like watching Hulk Hogan and Ric Flair fight.
Yeah, now watching them fight now,
right?
Yeah, It's absolutely hilarious, but I mean, we're probably going to see a lot more of this in the coming weeks. And I think Dan Snyder also released a statement saying that he didn't say that he had private investigators and all that other stuff, but they did say that they have no plans to sell or hand over the team or anything. So we'll see how this progresses.
Yeah, he
We'll
only made that. He only made that statement because he know that um, he can't. All you need is 24 votes.
oh yeah,
He has to be cautious what he say. So he only
yeah,
backpedaling because he's scared. He's pretty much scared. He knows it's not a good look right now. So yeah, yeah, we all know what he's doing.
yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So then moving forward now, speaking of progress, the Colts played Jacksonville at home, to which they had a 5-16 home record all time against Jacksonville.
Hmm.
And we'll start with you, Josh. How did this game go? Like just break down. Matter of fact, break down that first half for me, and then Austin, you break down that second half.
Well, before I start anything, I did watch the episode yesterday. Of they tried to. I wish I was on there with you. The Jag fans would try to heckle you, and they didn't want you to have a voice because we did beat that ass. So they call a quarterback old fart and just disrespected the team, and it felt salty yesterday. They felt really salty because it was cocky and thought that this was it. This was something that was in the bag. They felt that, and it wasn't. Yeah, they was up what 20 to what 3, something like that.
Yeah,
20
I
to
think it
3.
was. Yeah, I think it was. No, it was like 14-3. I think at first.
Yeah, correct. 14. It was like 14 to 3, and we couldn't get anything going. And it looked looked apart. It looked like they was going to run away with it again. But like you said, the what we all saw the adjustments, the play calling, the short yardages, the crossing routes. We saw Deion caught one-handed passes in the backfield, go for positive yardage. Saw the run game get going. Saw the offensive line blocking, whether it be blocking for a little bit longer. That's what they did for passing and run blocking. And you can credit him bringing in Dennis Kelly at left tackle, which played a major part. And you got Matt Pryor at right guard and Braden back at right tackle, which helped. And he got the tight ends involved. He got Paris Campbell involved. We haven't seen him in a while, and we all know what he did with Michael Pittman Jr. He got him hella involved. He had 19 targets or 16 targets, 16 targets, and he got the rookie involved. He got a couple of DPIs on him, and it made him frustrated. But you saw what he can do at the end. But I'm not gonna get to the end part. The first half, I'm gonna stick to that. Where we had the Florida offense was up. They did an up tempo offense.
Yeah,
keeping that defense. They wearing them out, just wearing them out. You didn't see Trayvon Walker. You didn't see Josh Allen in the backfield often. Yeah, they got some big hits on Matt Ryan, which you want the 37-year-old quarterback taking those hits. But credit him for taking those hits and completing those passes to the many receivers that he did to get positive yardage. He stood in their pocket and took those hits, and that's what we need. And so it caused us to be at halftime with down by 14 to 13, giving us momentum for the second half, which I'll pass it on to Austin.
Yeah, like you said, our sorry.
No, go ahead, Austin.
Our offensive line really did step up. There's the changes made mid-game, which we haven't seen often. But yeah, they gave Matt Ryan a little more time to throw the ball, and that's all he needs because he's been in the league for so long.
Uh-oh. Is that me?
No. I think that was. Oh, there you go. Okay.
Hey.
Sorry, somebody tried to call me. But yeah,
see what happened when the Vols win.
But yeah, we know what he can do. He's been in the league for a long time. We saw Jelani Woods make another catch for a touchdown. 5 catches, 3 touchdowns on the year.
Yeah.
And our defense stepped up when they needed to. Like, we gave up 27 points. It's not a great game, but sometimes you just got to learn how to win that way too.
Yeah.
We put up the most points we have all year, and Alec Pierce just made a big play at the end of the game.
Yeah, it was a I'm gonna say that was probably as an electrifying play as we've all seen. And you could tell that it was a great play because everybody is now saying that Alec Pierce is the wide receiver one, which whatever, sure.
Yeah, that's unnecessary. They said that. What game was that? Was the Chiefs game? They were saying the same thing, but yeah, it's yeah, they're doing everything to try to justify that. Justify Michael Pittman being number one, and it's not working. They can say what they say every week. I don't care if we have a big game against Tennessee, he still won't be a number one receiver, or he won't be he's not the number one. I won't say he won't be one. He's not the number one. One thing that was puzzling was our run defense. Oh my God, I don't I could have got in there and ran behind Jacksonville line and got 50 yards. That's how bad it was, and I was scratching my. When they said some guy named Hasty or Tasty, whatever his name was,
Michael Hasty. Yep.
I was
Michael
like,
Hasty.
"There's no way we're not losing this game to a guy named Hasty and get roasted all week long." I was like, "Yeah, we got to stop. We got to plug this run." I'm okay with ETN and James Robinson getting. Those are good. Talented running backs. They can catch out the field and make those cuts. But Tasty or Hasty, no way. No. That was a busted assignment for somebody. I don't know who it was because I was too busy being upset. That I should have rewatched that film on that to see who was that blew that. I don't know if it was Kenny Moore. I forgot who it was, but I was very upset about that. We got to get that plugged up, especially with the guy that's coming up next week.
Yeah. And you know what? I want to say I think it's just more so the only reason why I'm willing to kind of shoot this team some bills because this team has been, I'm gonna say they've had like the top run defense for a good portion of the season. And the one thing that I think is always going to be overlooked is I don't care how good or bad a team in your division is, division teams will play you much tougher than any other team does. So whatever you're doing well, there's a chance that they'll probably gonna exploit that because of the fact that they don't know you just on a level where it's just, oh yeah, the run defense is good. It's just like they know how certain people play.
Right.
Like teams like the Titans, the Texans, and the Jags know DeForest Buckner better than, let's just say a team like the Giants would, who we only play every 3 years.
Right.
So, I like I said, I'm gonna shoot them some bail for that reason, but at the same time, it's just like I'm not going to rule out the fact that that's something that definitely did cause a gashing. So, and we're hopefully going to be getting Leonard back this week, so maybe that should go ahead and help with that also. Potentially after his surgery, and like I said, I think they said him, JT, and Naeem Hines were practicing today. So yeah, hopefully it's a little bit, it's a good change. It's a good thing to see, but I think they still have a ways to go.
Mm-hmm.
But in the meantime, back to the offense. What did the offense do differently this time as opposed to other games? And we'll start off with you, Austin.
So like I said, the offensive line did really well, and we made adjustments mid-game rather than waiting till after the game to fix things, which is on Frank. He did something mid-game, and that's good. We passed the ball a lot more than we're used to. And we saw the run wasn't doing the best. Like, Deion Jackson did good. Philip Lindsay did all right. But, like, that's not our starters. Those are third and fourth string running backs. And so he knew we had to go to the pass more. And, Matt Ryan was hitting his targets, so it all worked out.
Yeah. And Josh, what about you? Like, what did you see differently in terms of how this offense was moving, how they were reacting, like what they were doing specifically to make sure that they were getting into the right spots?
I mean, the up tempo. I mean, we kept the same defense on the field. You saw that it kept. Hey, we get 5 yards. Hey, get back. Hurry up. Let's go. Hurry up. Get back to the line of scrimmage. Run the ball
Mhm.
or throw the ball. Quick pass to Pittman. Quick pass to Pierce or Paris Campbell or a tight end. That's taxing to a defense. That's got they got a disciplined defense with Walker and like I said, and we know what Josh Allen can do. Um, but we didn't address what was said prior to the game with the rookie saying that Matt Ryan is a sitting duck.
Yep.
So that potentially probably hurt them more than anything because you're already giving them um, bulletin materials to say, hey, well, okay, I'm a sitting duck. Okay, well, how about this sitting duck that's 37 years old is going to eat you up alive, which he did.
He
Uh,
did.
which he did. Yeah, he did. I'm sure them guys were tired because, like I said, it was like up tempo. We saw offense we haven't seen in 5 weeks on Sunday, which, like I said, we scored the most points all year with 34 points.
Yep.
Um, and that was major. That was major. It ain't gonna work all the time, but it's every we make adjustments game by game. Our offense is gonna be different each game. Next week probably gonna be very different. Might be similar. If they can't stop it, I wouldn't go away from it.
Yeah. And you know what we saw exactly like how the team reacted. I mean, this was the first game where Matt Ryan didn't get sacked once. Like, yeah, there were some QB hits, but Matt Ryan didn't get sacked once. And when given the opportunity, you see that he threw for almost 400 yards.
Yeah, if we had one more quarter, had another quarter, he would have threw for over 400.
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. But the great thing is that it didn't go to an extra period because yeah, that ended up going really well. And we have a comment that I'm going to bring up now, and we can have a quick aside because that's one of the questions. They said, "What about Brandon Facin or Facisa or whatever his name is? I don't care enough to know because he stinks." But that's what we believe. He stinks because we were going to say, why won't Gus play Isaiah Rogers? Eh, I don't know. Like I don't know. Like, does he feel bad for him? Like, does Facetian have something on him like blackmail? Like, is it kind of like what Marvin Lewis did with the Bengals for all those years, where no matter what they would like never fire him? Like, I don't know. Like, Facetian sucks. He sucks. Like he
It's
stinks.
yeah, it's obvious. I mean, everybody can see that. Zay Jones. I'm not saying he's a bad player. He's in the league for a reason.
Yeah.
Um, but all the DPIs, holding. There were a couple possessions where we got him off the field. But hey, oh wait a minute, it's a penalty. Oh, guess who was on 31? I'm like, okay, my God,
Yep.
okay, all right. Now I'm getting frustrated. And that because I vouched for him. Remember we did the starting lineups. Who would start? I said Brandon Facetson to start over Isaiah. I apologize, guys. I
Yeah.
didn't.
No problem.
I,
Because we
I
said
didn't think
otherwise. We said otherwise, and you were willing to die on that hill.
only because of Gus Bradley and that's being his guy and being a veteran guy, already knowing the defense. That's the only reason why. That's the only reason. I didn't think that he was talented because I didn't watch any Raiders game
Yeah.
to see that he was that good, see if he was talented or not. It was just the fact that he brought this guy over. It's like when you when a guy get fired at a job and they bring in a new staff or a new management, he want to bring his guy in that he trusts over the guys that's already there.
Yeah, I mean, I get that, but it's just like when it came to Justin Houston with that was different. Brandon Facetian hasn't done much of anything. Like, he brought over a guy that was like a fifth option and tried to turn him into a slot corner, and it's just not the case. When you saw, like I said, we've seen Isaiah Rogers' body of work over the
Hmm.
last couple of years. Like, he basically has worked to get into that position, and in the limited opportunities that he's had, we saw that he has actually been able to immediately impact games and do whatever he needed to do in order to make sure that he's make those plays. Like, I talk about it every single week since we played the Titans, but that play on the Titans, It was the biggest difference between that. It's literally similar defensive sets. Season takes a terrible angle as he normally does, and Derrick Henry runs it in for a touchdown. They run the exact same play. Isaiah Rodgers looks at it, and it's a tackle in the back or in the it's a tackle or it's a tackle behind the line of scrimmage.
That'll
Like
fall off, yeah.
that in itself should be enough for you to say, let me get this guys out of here and let me do what needs to be done. But they're not. They're not. And for me, it's just like it's kind of being stubborn and you just wanting to see because he said, oh yeah, well he has to play up to his potential. How many games are you going to see that he's getting beat like Shaq Griffin and he just continues to put him out there? Like, come on. Like, eventually it's just like you're going to get over yourself when it comes to that. Like, is it ego or what that's like causing them to do that? But I don't know.
That's ego.
Yeah.
I've
What about
seen,
you, Austin? What? Yeah, what I was going to say, Austin. What about you? Like, I don't. Maybe you can give another perspective because this doesn't make sense.
Well, I've seen the comparison of the season or whatever is to Bradley as Al-Qadim Muhammad was to Matt Eberflus. Like, for
Okay.
some reason, he just wants to play his guy, even if it's not right for the team.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
Which
I don't get it. The numbers, the stats, they all show Rodgers should be in the game. He should be starting. Season should pick up whenever there's an injury or there's somebody needs a break. That's fine.
that's it.
But he should not start. He should not get most of the snaps.
Yeah.
I really just don't understand.
Yeah, and it doesn't make sense. It doesn't. But
Like
we'll go
when
to
you
the
have
next.
when you have starters on your defense come to you or come to whoever and say this guy should be playing over this guy, you should listen. Like,
But you know what? And like that was the thing because the comments came out regarding what they said about Isaiah Rodgers playing, and then he plays them, and then the defense is going on a tear, like he's just absolutely just like stopping everything coming his way. But then you go back to Brandon Season, like we're just supposed to forget that he just has been beat week in and week out, and this was the prime example of it because he literally came in the game. And we saw him like every single time you see somebody running something other than a go route or maybe even like a regular slant that doesn't require like any extra movement, he's okay. But like the move by Zay Jones, the penalties, it's just like he's costing the defense a lot more than he's contributing to, and it doesn't make sense. Like it's dumb. It is dumb for the most part, but we'll go on to the next comment. Darius says, "What up, fellas? I saw a hurry up offense, got the ball in the playmakers' hands and let them go to work. Saw some spread formation, bunch in motion plays. I loved it." Which, I mean, it wasn't the normal vanilla offense that we've come to look for. And the other thing was, I think the other thing that's not being spoken about is the fact that Michael Pittman Jr. had 13 receptions for 134 yards, where a lot of it was like those down low routes. I think the furthest pass that was thrown was either thrown to Jelani Woods or was thrown to Alec Pierce for that touchdown. So, I mean, I think they also understood that, okay, yeah, let's get him some more blocking, but let's not try to throw anything far downfield because the blocking wasn't going to allow for that.
Another thing what we saw, different. What was my train of thought? It has to be something that I don't know if they've seen. I don't know if it's a confidence booster thing because you see after the game he said that he still have faith in this guy, which is what do you have faith in? What are you watching? What are you evaluating each week on these players? Because you can't say. I mean, like how long it took them to realize that Matt Pryor was not a good left tackle? It took them 6 weeks, 5 weeks.
It took them I think it took them about 4 weeks, and then last week it was Bernard Raymond, but then he got hurt, and then finally like they did this, and Matt Ryan was clean all game.
Yeah, and it's good. I mean, and he gonna have, and Matt Ryan gonna have confidence in his guys. Um, and when you look at the injury report, people was like, "Hey, our coach about to lose." We saw it all week. Okay, I know JT, no Hines, Naheem Hines, Deion Jackson gets to start. Everybody, oh yeah, y'all lost. But the guy came in and he played like a number one.
Yeah,
He played like a number one back, and we only had 16 rushes total, but he made the plays. He made more plays in the passing game, and that's what that's what fans wanted to see from Hines, where he wasn't playing. Like I said, he get those. You give Hines those same opportunities, you're gonna get the same results.
yeah.
But we'll see if he plays this week, because we got to throw everything uh, at our division. When two back-to-back division games, we got to throw everything at them.
Oh yeah,
Everything.
absolutely, absolutely. But I mean, it's a good starting point. But we have some more comments coming in. Let me address these before Sam has a hemorrhage. Um, she said Gus Bradley is a beach.
Oh
She
yes.
said,
What?
"How did it feel to win your Super Bowl?" It's not our Super Bowl. It's normally Jacksonville's Super Bowl whenever we play in Jacksonville. But I mean, the game felt pretty good. Game felt pretty good. Shaq Griffin was the best player on your team this week. One of, one of. I mean,
Well,
I think number I,
who was the best player for you guys week two?
it was
Offensive line.
yeah, probably Matt Pryor. Definitely Matt Pryor. All right. And she said it was like banana pudding offense, needed a lot of ingredients, but in the end tasted well. Um,
Yeah, yeah, they got errors. Yeah, he was. I was like, who the hell is that? But hey,
yeah,
you guys, man, no more
yeah,
Hasties.
yeah. So I mean, it happens. It's a thing. Then he said, "Is Chris Jackson ignoring me on purpose? Am I wrong?" Apparently, Sam has had a lot of white claws tonight because she is just commenting her life away.
Yeah, she hit me in the chat, said that I'm annoying. She want me booted.
Yeah. Well, you know what? You know what's crazy? I think the other thing is that she gets some white claws in her system. I think I'm glad that she's commenting here because normally she would be in Jalen Ramsey's DMs saying, "Hey, big head." So I mean, you know, it is what it is. Editing the vanilla ice cream vanilla offense, nah, fam. Okay, all right, that's fine. That's fine. So then moving on, because Sam will go on all night. Um, I'm gonna say it's. We talked about this before, but why do you think that Frank Reich was so hesitant to make this type of change when we could have been doing this even after week one? Like this, it didn't need to take this long. But why do you think that like he literally took this long to get to where we are now, where we finally found an offensive formation and an offensive scheme that finally works?
We mentioned it before in a past episode. It's like he didn't want to admit he was wrong. I feel like that has to be the only reason that it didn't happen earlier.
Yeah.
Or maybe he didn't have confidence that Kelly was fully back.
Yeah.
Maybe. But I mean, I think he was in his own way. Like he was afraid to make the change.
Yeah, and to add to that before I get to Josh, it's I think you have to be able to make those adjustments in game, right?
Yeah.
I think this is the first time that we went into a game where it was a tough game, but you did everything right from the beginning, and then you kind of let everything kind of go as it may. Because I don't think anybody anticipated Matt Ryan going and uh, I'm gonna say going and throwing for over 389 yards. But I mean, to have that type of volume and have that type of usage, and then on top of that, to be able to not have to make any changes to personnel, just being able to just put everybody out there and play the way that you normally would. I mean, I think that was a testament to that extra preparation, but also Frank Reich knowing this could be the week that I get my unemployment papers.
Yes, it was his seat was getting warmer, warmer and warmer. Yeah, he
Well,
beat the Broncos, but He was still hot. It was still hot. It cooled off a little bit, but it was still hot.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And then Josh, why do you think that he was so hesitant to make the change that he made this time around?
Like I said, I mean, you don't have a division win. You're already 2-1 in the division.
Yeah.
So another loss will put you down 0-3-1
Yeah.
with back-to-back division games. So and losing to a team that we all know what Ursay put out there. We all know we already know. These games mean something to the owner. And we got our ass tore up the last time we played them. We got our ass beat pretty bad. I mean, it
Yeah.
wasn't no shame in it. Got our ass tore up. Shouldn't have never showed up, actually. So this game here at home, you got to play different. You got to play the offense. We've seen him have good offense. We've seen him have good offensive game. We've seen him. We know what he can do. It's like Austin said, he's getting his way. He's calling his vanilla offense to where it's predictable. It's easy to stop. It's easy to stop. It seems like
Yes.
I don't want to make it. It's not a conspiracy thing, but it seemed like once JT out, it was more better to. It was an easy offense to run.
Oh yeah.
It seemed like
Oh yeah.
everybody saw it. It seemed like a little easier. No 8 in the box. It seemed like but you still have to respect Dion. And we just saw like I said, 68 passes. 58 passes. That's a lot of attempts.
Yeah.
But also have 42 completions, which is a career high. So
Yeah.
kudos to him. Last week he had a field goal fest. So yeah, we don't want that. And so we know he got the assignment. He knew. I'm sure he listened. He listened to the players, and even on the 3rd and 13 where we had maybe a field goal in our pockets, Reich asked him, "What you want to do? You want to get a couple yards to get a field goal, or go for the win?" He said, "No, let's go for the win. Let's go for the win." So he said, "Come play scared." He had one thing in mind, going for the win. A field goal don't potentially win anything, but a touchdown does.
Exactly. Because then at that point, you have to have the Jags do that Jaguar play that they had at the end of the game. Like that was.
It was funny.
That was
It was a circus for them. But yeah, but that's what the adjustments he need to make, and he gonna have to continue to make them because you got another one. You got an important game. Matter of fact, every game from here on out is important.
Yeah. Well, before we get to our next subject, I'm going to make a very controversial statement. I'm going to say that playing against Jacksonville was probably the toughest division game that we're going to have this season. Because, let's be honest. When we played the Titans the first time, we literally shut them out in the second half completely. It's just that the offense, once again, was just completely anemic and didn't know what to do.
Right.
But now you have you have a rhythm. You know exactly what to expect. And the way that Jacksonville played us defensively, I don't think we're going to get that type of challenge specifically from Tennessee. I think they will be very, very heavy on the front seven, but I don't see them actually going and, being as imposing themselves the way that the Jaguars did. The Jaguars frequently play like a team that has nothing to lose and don't give a damn what's going on. Like they're going to go balls to the wall from the beginning of the clock to the end. Whereas, a team like Tennessee, it's just offensively, they may not come out as hot, but it's just like they're a horrible team when it comes to them playing in the second half.
Tennessee guys to get up. They have to get up with steam to get their offense going. We know it's led by Derrick Henry.
Yeah,
he get 1-2 yards. Okay, he start out slow. Get 10 yards. They get medium. Now he busting out for 20 yards. Now they get hot, and now the offense is open up.
Yeah, exactly. So that's why, I think the Tennessee game is going to be a little bit different, but I think Jacksonville was just that's probably going to be the toughest division game that we play all year in terms of how they played us and how we played them also. So, and then of course moving back, and Austin, I want to ask, and like I said, this is for everybody, of course. Are we concerned with Matt Ryan's passing attempts and usage?
I'm not. I haven't been concerned so far. I know he's 37, but at the same time, he seems to be in good shape. He seems to be doing just fine, like with his arm. I haven't seen him have any trouble. Now doing it the whole year, maybe. Like, I wouldn't want him throwing 58 times every game, but if he has to, I think he can. So I haven't been too concerned, but I understand why people would be.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, absolutely. But and then Josh, what are you thinking regarding like the amount of times? Because like I said, he's 58. He's not 58. He has 58 attempts in this game. But
I said
right
58.
now,
Shit. Damn.
right now he has the second most passing attempts in the whole entire league. And I mean, he's literally sandwiched between Justin Herbert and Kyler Murray. And then it's Tom Brady, and then it's Josh Allen in terms of attempts. But he's also second in terms of passing yardage. So I mean, what are we what is what is your thought process regarding like how much he's actually, throwing the ball, especially at this stage in his career?
Was it? Well, the thing is, I'm not overly concerned. The past 2 weeks, has been the issue has been I don't have no running backs. I'm not saying nothing against Dion, nothing against Phillip. They're good, talented backs to replace those guys, but they're not Naheem Hines. They're not JT, obviously. So
Yeah,
now it seems like Matt has to cover all those snaps and convert them to, instead of running the ball 20 times. Now we got to throw the ball the extra 20 times. If it helps us win the game, which it did the last 2 weeks, I don't see a problem with it. And if it takes happen again next week, if we don't have our guys back, and they help us win the game, hey, I mean, why not? I mean, the receivers and tight ends love it. As long as they throwing
yeah,
it, they love it. But running backs, if we don't have the running back, like I said, nothing against Dion. Dion is a hell of a back. And we saw that. We saw that Sunday. We saw a little
yeah,
glimpse last year. But we know he has nothing. He has nothing on JT. Once
yeah,
JT is in there, he's the guy. And the JT come back, I'm sure they're gonna try to. And we saw the article today that um, Frank Wright still wants to be a balanced offense. He don't want to run the ball too many times. He don't want to throw the ball too many times. We've seen week one where we ran the ball too many times, like over 30 times.
yeah,
With JT at 31 times. So he wants to be balanced. And the JT back and Hines back, I feel like we possibly could be back to being a balanced offense. But it just depends on by the game. I mean, depend on what the defense give us. If the defense give us, we're going to stop the run, then hey, we got to pass it.
yeah, yeah. I think so. And we actually have a comment from a Titans fan. Truly Cherry. Truly Cherry says, "Boy, y'all about to see Bud Dupree is back." Listen, I'm not worried about Bud Dupree unless we were playing the game in a Walgreens. Let's just be completely honest about that. I'm not worried about this unless we're in our local convenience store / pharmacy and he just happens to be there. Because we know that he does the most damage when he's in a Walgreens. We are playing at Nissan Stadium. So
Well,
not
I'm not worried about
concerned.
it. I'm not worried about a guy that their fan base said he trashed and overpaid. So yeah, I'm not worried.
I mean, yeah, it is not. It is really not. Sorry, Cherry, but I said what I said. And then he said, he says, "I'm not concerned. He probably won't throw 58 times each week, especially with a running back like Taylor. He's going to get going, and that will cut the attempts down. Believe so." And
Yeah.
then Matt Briggs says, "Texans by 50." Matt, go to sleep. Go to sleep.
Maybe
Oh
against
yeah,
the practice squad.
so y'all can beat the Raiders. So yeah, 50. I don't care. Y'all smash them.
Yeah, they could potentially do that, but yeah. So then moving on, of course, because like I said, we're going to be wrapping up soon. Texans versus Colt, keys to victory. What is the key to victory on offense? What is the key to victory on defense?
We know it's the same as we did on week 4,
Week 4, yeah.
week 4, same way. I mean, we was able we contained Derrick Henry for the most part, but he started getting cooking. He started cooking a lot. Started getting those big yardages. Stiff arms started to come out. He started feeling himself. And they at home, so we know they're gonna run the ball. They're gonna establish their run, and get those passes out to their no-name receivers. So we got.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I got to be petty at least once an episode.
I mean, that
I
was,
admit.
it is what it is.
But we got, we know what they're going to establish to do. They're going to establish a run, and so we got, and on defense, we got to make sure we get all our guys on that ball and stop them. And last time they beat us with that, what's that tight end name? Chig, what's his name?
Chig Okonkwo.
Yeah, he was pretty. He was pretty good too. He was helping on offense along with Robert Woods. He did some damage to us.
Yeah.
Cheeseburger won't be playing, so we won't have any issues with him being on a down. He shouldn't be on. And on offense, I mean, what carries over from this game should carry over to that game. Except just mix it up. Don't try to be cute. Don't try to outplay Mike Vrabel. You know you can't do that. You lost 4 in a row, so he's going to be the same until you stop it. So you play your game plan, and if it's working, and you're at the end of the game, you got the lead. Hey, it worked out. Better for the team.
Absolutely. And then we have 2 more comments, and then I'm going to let you go ahead, Austin. Truly says, LOL, okay, Ryan about to be the Walgreens clerk. You wish he was a Walgreens clerk. Okay, but he's not. So guess what? We'll see what Bud Dupree does. And then Nika says, Ryan gassed. And this is also coming from a jilted Jags fan. So take that with a grain of salt and all the burnt part of Shaquille Griffin.
Before we get to Austin, y'all need to worry about Shaq Griffin's wife right now, or baby mama, because she's cooking y'all right now. She got y'all all in the media looking bad out here because y'all lost. And so she defended her Brent Toast's husband. And so y'all need to worry about your in-house stuff and not worry about what Ryan and the Colts are doing, because last thing we checked, we're not in 3rd place. So sorry.
Well, the other thing is, let's just also put it out there that Alec Pierce has been smoking that Shaquille Griffin pack all week. So
me too.
He was smoking that Griffin pack nonstop. And then he said she's not a wife. Wait, first off, ma'am, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. She ignited.
She acting like it.
Okay,
she acting like it.
She ignited a war. But Austin, go ahead. What are going to be the keys to victory on offense and defense for Indy this week?
Yeah, so on defense, we saw this past week we struggled on the run defense. So I think we definitely got to stop Derrick Henry. We can't let him get going. If he has a huge game, it's going to be a long game.
Yeah.
And then on offense, I think we got to take advantage of their secondary. Their secondary is not good. And if, I want to be balanced, but also we need to take some shots as well because they don't have a great secondary.
Yeah. I think it's just like it's having Byard back there kind of covers up a lot of those holes that they have on the back end of the defense. But I mean, in terms of secondary, it's just like, I mean, the Titans secondary isn't that great. They're really not. So I mean, you absolutely could take advantage of that. I mean, and then what else? And then what else were you saying regarding the actual, or regarding what they need to do?
Just take advantage of it.
Okay.
Be balanced. Be balanced, but when we have passing plays, I think we'll be fine.
Yeah, okay. And the one thing that I think we can kind of learn from is the fact that the Titans are utilizing Henry in a way that is like they're utilizing him in the passing game more now. Mm-hmm. So the thing is, it's just like you can't leave him open. Like I think they're gonna have guys that are gonna spread out. So it's just like it's not that you don't have to necessarily respect the pass as much, but the thing is, that if they're throwing short to Derrick Henry or throwing screens, that they're going to try to do that to get him going, because if he gets a little bit of a head of steam, then he can absolutely go ahead and make something shake 4 yards. But, stopping that type of momentum, like I'd much rather Ryan Tannehill run than Derrick Henry, because I know that with Ryan Tannehill, he's going to have to make those decisions when the pocket breaks down. And when he starts to do that, it's like he can get some yards, but he's not going to do the type of damage that Derrick Henry could potentially do. So I'm going to say it's just like it's probably going to be more just like not worry, but I'm just going to say play the pass more, just even down low. Because, I mean, other than Robert Woods, I mean, I don't know if Kyle Phillips will be playing, but I know that that's somebody who they've had on out routes to the sideline a lot. But yeah, but then on offense, I mean, absolutely go and pass. Like, everybody knows that Alec Pierce is a beast. Everybody knows that Michael Pittman is a beast. And I think that is going to open up those avenues for guys like Jelani Woods. Like, I think Jelani Woods could absolutely have a statement game by just making sure that he's just running those delays and then just going out and just catching passes. Because no matter what, it's just like we saw last game where Granson would get going, they started to play Granson, and then they get into Pittman. And the way that Pittman was actually catching the ball, his stats were that he was getting 10 yards per catch, which means that he was getting a first down every single catch that he made. So I think the same rules apply now. I don't think that it'll come down to like an Alec Pierce game winner, but I mean, if you play solid, it's just like this could be a game where you can stop them early, and then that's pretty much going to be it.
Yeah, the last game was the game of tight ends. Like our tight ends was the one that was eating them up.
Yeah.
I don't know if they was in zone or I don't know what they were playing, but more like Cox was the player of the game. I think he had like 2 touchdowns. And Woods was, we was frustrated with Woods not getting much touches against the Titans, but I mean Granson did. So they probably going to game plan and see if we run that again, but we should use everything. We should use it shouldn't be an issue for Ryan to throw to 9 targets.
Yeah, it's not. He's shown that he can spread the ball around. Because I mean, even if you look at the stats for this team, you can see that they're spreading the ball everywhere. Like, there's no problem with people not getting the ball. Like, I mean, we've seen that Paris Campbell had contributions. We've seen that, of course, Jelani Woods had contributions. We've seen that Kyle Granson. We've seen, Mo Ali Cox. We've seen him throwing to the running backs. So, I mean, he's going to spread the ball around. There's no favorites. It's basically going to be like whoever's going to give us the best opportunity on that particular play, they're going to get the ball.
Right.
So, with that being said, what do we predict the score is going to be for this game?
I'm going with 30-17.
Ooh, I like it. Picasso. What about you, Josh?
I'm looking at another close game. Potentially to be 34-27. I mean, an identical score from last week.
Okay. I'm going
Colts
to
Colts win. I'm sorry. Yeah, I got to make sure. I'm saying Colts. No sweep.
I'm going to say Colts will win 28-25.
I feel like it's going to be a close game too.
Yeah. So, all right. So yeah. So then, in that case, then we will of course be back. I want to have a Titans fan on here next week. I want to, I want to be able to go ahead and have somebody on, just so that we can go ahead and just, well, first off, they have to have not eaten mayo that day, so I don't know who we're gonna do that, because they
make sure they have a slice of pizza first.
Oh God, not the Tennessee tickle dip, not the Tennessee tickle dip. Yeah, we don't need none of that. But I do want to go ahead. So if you're a Titans fan watching this, I will absolutely go ahead and tell you that you're more than welcome to come on next week. Even though we can't get you on the regular podcast to save your life, we'll go ahead. We welcome you. All right. So then, with that being said, it's been I'm going to say another episode. We are absolutely going to make sure that next week we will be back live, and we will be back here on Tuesday at 9:00 p.m. Eastern time. Guys, tell the people where to find you.
You can find me on Twitter at CookieAustin2.
All right. Thank you for that. I'm a little tired, so that's the reason why I got no reaction, but I think I'm almost immune now. I'm almost immune. All right. What about you, Josh?
You can find me after we beat the Titans.
Okay, we'll go with
You
that.
definitely will. You definitely will find me a lot. But in the meantime, before that, you can find me on my new Xbox and on I am Josh Senior Twitter.
Hey, I'll give you 350. I'll give you 350.
Shh, I was gonna give for 200.
You can find me at CJ Colts fan. Make sure that you are following the podcast pages at YDKJAC podcast, at YDK basketball, at YDK JAC baseball. Austin is currently covering all the playoffs, but mostly the Yankees because I mean the Yankees are out here crushing it. So make sure that you contact him on YDKJAC baseball. Basketball just recommenced. So make sure that you're contacting Josh because he's going to be posting everything on the YDK basketball page. And yeah, we'll be getting updates from us throughout the week regarding any type of moves, anything going on, and just outside of perspective. But other than that, people, I'm going to say have a great rest of your week. Anvil. Oh, that's our guys with the Anvil. Been a minute,
Yes,
fellas. What's y'all night now? Tuesday or Wednesday? We're normally on
it's
Tuesdays. We
Tuesday.
just did Wednesday because we had a couple things that we were doing yesterday. But yes, we are Tuesday, 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern time. And yeah, so we will absolutely make sure that we are there. But yeah, so if you have any questions, make sure that you comment us or comment. Like I said, hit us up, follow at all the YDK pages. But yeah, other than that, people, have a great rest of your week. Stay warm. It was like 37 degrees today in October, which is
Yeah, same here.
god awful. So yeah, but be safe, everybody. We'll see you next week. And yeah,